Have you ever been stuck trying to set a timeout for your gRPC functions in Node.js, only to find that your connection just won't terminate? It's frustrating, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to properly set timeouts for gRPC connections. I totally get it. You expect your gRPC client to time out when the server doesn't respond, but instead, it just hangs there. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar issues when working with gRPC. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, "Why doesn't my gRPC client terminate the connection when I set a timeout?" They mentioned that even after specifying a deadline, the client still waits indefinitely. Sound familiar? Let's dig into this together and find a solution. So, what could be causing this? The issue often arises when the server implementation doesn't call the callback function, leaving the client hanging. We'll break it down step by step so you can understand what's going on. And don't go anywhere. I've got a crucial tip at the end that will help you avoid this issue in the future. To set a timeout for gRPC functions in Node.js, the user should first ensure that the deadline is set correctly. Instead of using the current seconds, we will use a more appropriate method to set the deadline. Next, the user should modify the gRPC client instantiation to use this new deadline. This ensures that the client will terminate the connection if the server does not respond in time. Now, the user should implement error handling in the callback function. This will help capture any errors that occur if the server does not respond within the specified timeout. Finally, the user should test the implementation to ensure that the timeout works as expected. They can do this by running the server and client and observing the behavior when the server does not respond. Did you know? gRPC is designed for high-performance communication, but even the best systems can have hiccups. It's all about how you handle those hiccups. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by a user involves setting a timeout for the gRPC call. They define a timeout in seconds and calculate the deadline using the current time plus the timeout duration. Then, they use this deadline in the gRPC client call, ensuring that the call respects the timeout. This way, if the server does not respond in time, the client will handle the situation appropriately. Now, let's shift our focus to a different response. An alternative approach shared by another user highlights the importance of setting deadlines or timeouts in gRPC. They explain that gRPC allows clients to specify how long they are willing to wait for a remote procedure call to complete. If the call exceeds this time, it will terminate with an error called deadline exceeded. The user also notes that the way to specify deadlines or timeouts varies by programming language. Some languages may not have a default deadline, while others may use fixed points in time or durations. Here's the crucial tip I promised. Always validate your server's callback implementation. This simple check can save you from a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. You should now be able to set timeouts for your gRPC functions effectively. Remember, proper implementation is key. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips. And don't miss our bonus tip on optimizing your gRPC connections.